I moved to Germany in 2015. I was a fellow for the University of Tübingen in Baden-Württemberg.
I was born in Karlsruhe in Germany, which is in the Black Forest during the war, 1943. And I grew up, obviously, right after the war when the times was very bad in Germany. And Christmas was celebrated a little bit different than we celebrated here now in America.
So I was born in Filderstadt, Bohnlanden, which is near Stuttgart, Germany. And I grew up in Reutlingen, Germany, which is about 20 minutes away from my place of birth.
I was born in Halle, Germany, which is in the eastern part of the country. And Halle's claim to fame is that it's the birthplace of Georg Friedrich Händel.
Well, Ron and I were born in Jasper, Indiana, which is in southern Indiana in DuBois County. DuBois County was settled by different Germans from different areas of the country, of the German country. We were southern Germans, mostly Catholic, high German speaking.
Oh, Christkindlmarkt, that is one of the most beautiful things in Germany. Since it's in the middle of the town, now here we have to drive, usually, because Germany is much more dense. Every town has a Christkindlmarkt, everybody.
So it was a great platform for community, very festive. The food was pretty traditional for Germany, a lot of Wurst, a lot of sausages, wieners, and a lot of sweets, baked goods. There were all sorts of different handmade crafts from the area, and where I lived was in the Black Forest. So you had a really strong tradition of hand making. One of the most important parts of the market when I first went was I went with my daughter. We went when we first moved to Freiburg, Germany. It was a new experience, and it was one of the first experiences that we had together in this new city.
Yeah, you gather at the Christkindlmarkt downtown. The other nice part is the day of Christmas, on the morning of the 24th, there's a celebration downtown. It's only for the younger people. So if you're 18 or older, you go there. They open up basically the town center. No cars are allowed to drive there, and they call it the Holy Morning. They open up the bars, and they have kind of like outside bars, so people are drinking a beer or Glühwein, and it starts early in the morning, around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And so you run into people that you haven't seen all year long, but you always meet them at Holy Morning. So the closest thing for Santa Claus, what we have, is actually on December 6th, and that would be St. Nicholas. But for Christmas, the Christmas story in our household, how it's told and how it actually gets celebrated, there's no Santa Claus. And for us, it was baby Jesus that actually brought the Christmas presents. So baby Jesus came together with an angel and put the Christmas presents under the tree. And a little bell was rung by my mom. And then we were allowed to come inside, and there was all the presents, a Christmas tree just like that one here.
St. Nicholas, or Niklaus. This is a celebration that the kids are more familiar with. They do not have as much of the Santa themes on the streets or in some of their more commercial depictions of Santa Claus, but St. Niklaus is something that they're taught and they look forward to as far as a specific celebration early in December.
On December 6th, St. Nicholas comes and fills your stockings. And then on Christmas Day, or the night before Christmas, Santa Claus comes.
For St. Nicholas night, December 5th, we put, like he said, we put the stockings out. The gifts that we get when we wake up was usually a little orange or tangerine, a little candy, and a small toy. But it was nice to receive something from St. Nicholas, even if it wasn't a big lot of things.
So yeah, Jasper was only about a half an hour away from Santa Claus Land, which is now Holiday World. But we always made our annual pilgrimage to Santa Claus Land every summer.
Santa Claus Land was the summer home of Santa Claus. Yeah.
So we'd get Santa on summer, Santa on St. Nicholas Day, and then Santa on Christmas Day.
Can't get enough Santas.
It's not the elf on the shelf, it's also St. Nicholas who watches, and you better be good. Otherwise, you end up with a lump of coal in your shoe.
Well, in Christmas time, which is such a happy time, not only for the kids, but also for the baker. Because in Christmas time, up to Christmas, he makes cookies he normally never does all year long. And he makes a nice variety, and every region in Germany makes some different cookies. One of the cookies which is made actually my store national famous is called the Springerle cookie. It's an anise cookie which comes from the Black Forest region and the Swiss region and the Alsace in French. And that cookie goes back about 400 years. And it is absolutely a sentimental cookie. All the people who order those cookies have the memories of their mom and dad who labored in their kitchen and made that cookie and to bring back beautiful or memories of their childhood.
So food and drink played a big part of the Christmas tradition. First, on the food end, you have many baked goods and desserts that people would bake and prepare themselves with family. And so there were a lot of family traditions that I remember around baked goods for Christmas time. And then also you had drinks. So one example is Glühwein. And Glühwein is like a mulled wine. So it is both white or red, and there is a collections of spices, and it's served warm. And this is very popular during the Christmas market. So you have different stands that served Glühwein. They gave away special cups with the Glühwein that you could either keep as a souvenir or return. And then also you would have little competitions as to who served the best Glühwein.
My first memory of Christmas is that Advent was always special. It was a countdown. There was a calendar and there was an Advent wreath.
My mom actually made an Adventskranz. It's basically a circle made out of twigs, and she made it every year new, fresh. 4 candles were on the Adventskranz, and so for the kids it was always kind of exciting who was allowed to light the first candle on Sunday. Another tradition that we had in our household for the kids is Adventskalender. So it's a calendar basically counting up toward the 24th. And in my household, my mom actually made handmade Adventskalender. Mine was a Christmas tree that was cut out, and she had little hooks sewed into the fabric, and put little gifts, little toys, maybe something for school, maybe it was a pencil or rubber, and she wrapped all of them and put them on the Christmas tree. And the top one was the 24th. That was normally the biggest one to get to. So there was always excitement in the morning just to be able to unwrap something.
Christmas Eve in Germany is actually the Christmas celebration. So they celebrate Christmas with the opening of the gifts.
Christmas Eve was a very quiet time where everybody stayed at home. You may have gone to church, but the rest of the time you stayed at home. There was not a big feast at night. The Christmas goose was roasted the next day. And that was the feast, but again, it was not overdone where you had many pies and a ham and a turkey and all kinds of food. It was a little more modest, but very special.
We would have our meal, Christmas meal. We would eat usually cold cuts, cheese, and have rye bread, some pickles and things like that. And then Mom would open the door, and then the smell of the candles and all the lights was out. It was just absolutely beautiful. And we kids would right away look on the floor where our gifts are. All the gifts was never wrapped.
You kind of hid the tree, and then you, like behind a parlor door or something like that, and then you opened it up and kind of exposed it on Christmas Eve.
And it would be, they would put it in, of course, undecorated, and they would open up the doors, and it would be full of
Candles.
candles and tinsel and ornaments, and then the presents would be there that Santa had left.
What surprised me most about the difference in the customs when I came to the United States was that it was not a spruce tree that was used, it was a pine tree. And the shape of that tree really does not lend itself to accommodating real candles, which have to be spaced far apart. So the shape of the pine tree and the electric lights, which allowed this tree to be plugged in and used just like another light fixture, really surprised me. And also that the tree in the US many times goes up on the 1st of December. In my memory, the tree was lit for the first time, or lighted, I guess, for the first time on the 24th. And then it didn't last beyond, say, the 6th of January at the longest.
The tradition was that we had to sing all together as a family, and then we had to, if you're younger, you had to recite a poem, for example. There's always something you had to do. Later on, I played an instrument. My sisters both played instruments too, so we basically had to perform for the parents, so there was always a little bit of a chore before you were allowed to unwrap the presents.
And we kids, we just want to get it over with. Obviously, like most kids, don't want to necessarily be tracked down in tradition. We want to go to eat the cookies and chocolate, and so sometimes we extra sing purposely off key. And then Mom made us start all over again. Said, no, you can do better than that. But that was just part of the fun.
Christmas Day is more of a family time, so it's more of a rest day. So that was something that was really different.
Well, on Christmas Day, that was the day where you met the rest of the family, the extended family, and maybe they brought another little gift. But for the most part, that day was to eat, to enjoy family, and to play with whatever toys were given on Christmas Eve.
So the first Christmas Day was spent at home, and again, some friends came over. We would have some cakes, and we have coffee, and then they talk, and we kids went next door to our friends and see what they got for Christmas and played with their stuff.
The day after Christmas Day for us in Germany is another family day. It's a day where people go off to visit, and I think it really is the official start of the holiday period.
And in Germany, we have 2 holidays. And I still celebrate this in America. We have the first Christmas Day and the second Christmas Day. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. Gives me an extra day. And everybody said, what? You on 25th and 26th, you're not going to do nothing? I said, nope. Well, Christmas brings happiness to the kids and to family. Hopefully they have a work and are employed and making some money to can pay their bills, and also look out to the meaning of Christmas and not just the financial things, and to make sure they love somebody and call their mother and their friends and tell people that they love them. And this is very important. A lot of people cannot get it over their heart to call their mother or their brother or say, hey, I love you. And they need it too. That's the nice thing about Christmas, that you reflect a little bit and see that there's more to it than just the daily hustle of life and all the politics and all the other things. And hopefully the Christmas spirit keeps going, not just for 3-4 weeks, but maybe the rest of the year. And that's what I hope for.